Okay, we've got to figure out what number we're at here, but July 13th, middle full moon today, right, Newman?
That's right, full moon.
And it's happening in about, I don't know, maybe it's already happened. It's supposed to be like 4 p.m. UTC or something is the actual full moon. But maybe it's happening in an hour or so. So welcome to our weekly Cardano4Climate meetup. Every week we show up with the exception of a few when we need to take a break, but here we are again. Next slide.
Here we go. All right.
So that was, 11 months ago. We're scrambling as a group, newly formed. Ideafest is coming up, and Jem gets this amazing video put together for us. And we haven't played it very often, but these things can be used over and over again. And to me, that's very impactful. And it's still why we're here. We believe that Cardano has the blockchain, the bright minds, the technology to be able to help regenerate our systems. We started as a community around a challenge in Fund 6 into Fund 7, Climate Change the Challenge, and we're back again. You'll see at today's town hall why we believe we need a challenge specifically related to impact. I've spent days and days trying to collect proposals, social and environmental impact proposals from across Ideascale, across the 13 different challenges. And we are so very, very disconnected at this point, and we're not getting enough done. Next slide, please. So we are back, and we will keep coming back. Cardano4Climate. Cardano's mission is making the world work better for all. We add the impact to people, animals, and the planet. Our agenda for today is pretty sweet and action-packed. Yoram's going to take us through where we are in Fund 9. We have we're right in the middle of assessing starting, but we're still in the middle of promoting our proposals right up until voting, which will bring us right into ImpactFest August 11th. This is our practice run for this too. The things that we're doing now, getting our technology figured out, getting other people on board, is all leading up towards a pretty big event on August 11th. We've got other side things, side chains going on in work, bounties, D-work. We've got an event coming up in a little over a week, Carbon and Cardano, and we will also today we'll be showcasing more proposals, as well as give our community an action plan. Yoram, I'm gonna, actually this one will be for me. So as I said, we have couple slides ahead, sorry, Newman. We've got all sorts of areas that we're working on: education, connection, back up one slide. Collaboration, cooperation over competition. We're working on remuneration and recognition, event planning, inclusion, promotion, you name it. We're trying to do it all in as quick as possible. So everybody's welcome. And then there may be something that we do that resonates more with you. Please feel free to jump in. We've got all sorts of links to different channels where we're doing this specific work. Now I get to hand it over to Yoram.
Yeah, it's a simple one. So do you have the next slide? Can we see where we are?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so basically, for everyone who doesn't know, we are now in the PA stage, right? So going to be finished tomorrow. And then we are getting into a very, very important stage, which is flagging reviews. So again, if anyone doesn't know that, please reach out and we will guide you how to do it. But in general, you're able to see the reviews that you got from PAs. And if the review doesn't follow the PA guide, you can flag it. For example, if you say that everything is perfect and he gives and you get lower reviews, or if the review doesn't relate, to the section, to the relevant section in the PA guide, you are being reviewed based on impact on the challenge, feasibility, and auditability. So if the review in the specific section doesn't match the category of the review, then you can flag it. So it's a very important process, and please dedicate the time to do it. It doesn't take a lot of time, and if you know what to do there, it's going to be very helpful for you. Because after this process, there's going to be something called VPA, which is verification of all the reviews by veteran PAs, and they are going to pay attention also to the flagging that you did. So really, this is really important part for you, and you have only 5 days to do it, from the 15th to the 20th. Then there is the PA reviews, VPA reviews, and after that we go to voting. So this is also a good time to start promotions, right? Different promotion, and we will touch base on that later on in the presentation. How can you promote your proposals? Yeah.
So yeah, if you need more information on any of these stages, the place to go is the Catalyst School. We'll drop some links in there. I'll drop some links in. I think we've got those on the slides. We can drop, yeah. And next slide. That's going to be you again, Yoram.
About this one, okay, I'm promoting impact proposal. Okay, so this is also cool. So what we did, we started that about a few weeks ago. Melanie kind of persistently since last fund, how can we collect all the impact related proposals, and started the process again a few weeks ago. And basically in these few weeks, we collected over 180 now environmental and social proposals, impact proposals that direct in the proposal have the intention to do it. Considering a total of 1,200 proposals, it's really huge. Many more proposals will make an impact, but this proposal directly intend to make an impact. And I think that's really amazing. And we coordinated with the Lead Donation and AIM, which is two kind of voter tools. that both of them are voter tools, and they are going to include this list and impact within the voter tools. So all the voters looking for impact are going to basically find those proposals, and it can be another element for the decision to who to vote and so on. And so that's kind of the next phase where we are working on and integrating it there. In AIM platform, we can also create actually a pick list. So Cardano4Climate will create a pick list, and everyone can pick a pick list of impact-related proposals. I think that's also great because then it's easier to promote it to voters in this way.
And we'll have links following in the presentation, what we can do to add and cooperate with these different organizations. Sorry,
and this is really why it's so important to collaborate. I mean, because if we come all together and we show, I mean, today in town hall, we're going to show, we're not going to speak about impact as you know, as something sideways. We're going to show why impact-related proposals are probably the biggest opportunity for Cardano. Okay, and that's the approach. I mean, and that's what we believe in. So we're going to discuss that in Cardano. It's amazing to see how many impact-related proposals there are. Yeah, so well done to everyone.
Next slide. So can't repeat this enough. We have our ImpactFest for the first time, specifically related to proposals with social and environmental impact. This will be a place where we'll run through our slides. Whoever can show up in person or by video will represent as many proposals as possible, one after the other after. And I'm hoping that during this time, we can break out into rooms and start collaborating. Because as I go through this list, I recognize that a lot of us are doing the same thing. We're reinventing the wheel in different silos over here and over here, because I say this over and over again, it's like someone took the puzzle box and threw it in the air, and we've got pieces hiding in the cracks of the couch or under the couch or in the kitchen, and we can't find these pieces and put them together. So hopefully through this, we'll start actually having a real impact on Cardano, through the blockchain, moving forward. All right, so more information on that and links and stuff too. So your turn, Newman.
Yeah, okay, so I wanted to talk to you guys about this C4C GT, that stands for Gimbal Token, PBL, that stands for Project-Based Learning, and DWork. And DWork is a site for doing tasks and bounties, an experiment. So we are we're partnered with Gimbal Lab, and Gimbal Lab is Gimbal Labs, which is a group of programmers. Mostly, I think they formed around going through the Plutus Pioneer program, which is how to build on the blockchain. Now they created a thing called the Gimbal Token, and that is just like it's almost kind of like a governance token or a community token. The next thing you need to know about is this website called DWork, and it's a decentralized DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization tool for facilitating community work. The C4C has been experimenting with this token and this DAO tool, this tool for facilitating community work. It's good for management. You can see what tasks are being done, and it's good for the people doing tasks because they can. It's a nice tool for collaboration and doing tasks. So right now who are listening to my voice, if you're here live with us on July 13th, you can get I think it's 50 Gimbal tokens. You can get some Gimbal tokens by going to the DWork website. And there
is it 50 or 5?
Might be 50, might be 5 or 40. It's some amount of gimbals. You are gonna love to have gimbals. Just for like these happy people on the screen. Look, they're all smiling, they're happy because they got some gimbals. So you just have to go to the site, and if there should be a link to it.
I'll drop it in. You keep going there.
Okay. And let's see. So you just have to you just have to write in some text. You'll see a submit button, and if you need help with it, please don't hesitate to ask. The reason to do this is to get everybody sort of familiar with a very simple task on D-Work. So that is my little talk on D-Work and the gimbal token experiment.
Your spiel. Now you get to go into the event.
Okay, here we go.
Next event coming up.
Next event is Carbon and Cardano. This is number 6 in our series of events. We're partnered with WADA, the Catalyst School, Climate Neutral Cardano, and Sustainable ADA. And this event is focused on education. It is the middle of our series of 3. We try to work these things in series of 3. The first one being an onboarding and greater community, non-blockchain impact community event. And then the following event would be the ImpactFest, where we do proposal showcases, which is these weekly meetings have become kind of a mini Impact Fest event to showcase proposals. But in the middle, we like to just sort of focus in on a theme or a topic. And this theme is carbon. And you're like, and I thought about, well, it's just everything is carbon. It's not just carbon footprint or carbon offsetting, but it's natural based carbon renewal and sequestration. It has to do with deforestation and ecosystem collapse, mushrooms and the soil biome, and algae. We've got mushroom growers and algae people here, kelp, the whole regenerative ag and renewable energy, and carbon is huge. It's a really great way to educate and get us organized as a community. So we need help, however, and we've got a bunch of roles. I'm sort of taking on the commitment to do the event planning, but we need marketers and documenters, moderators, people to work on in the event itself. Putting on things like this takes a big team. So if you're willing, or if you're interested, if you want to learn these skills, please contact me, and I'd be much appreciated. And then we have the big call, which is we're looking for proposals that have to do with carbon, that have to do with this sort of this part of the crisis, to speak and present during this event.
Awesome. Thank you, Newman. A lot of work. Newman and Simon have been really good at documentation and getting this template figured out for future events and for other communities, so that we can share this with others through our experience. And then also I've dropped in the links how you can join the event planning on Telegram. Feel free to pop in there, and yeah, pretty awesome. Okay, next on to proposal spotlights. And first up, we have Honeybees on the blockchain. For those of you that are new to Ideascale or first time proposing, this is super effective. I just want to point this out, not only what you've done in this proposal, but right off the bat, you've got a picture, and it sets you apart from other proposals, and it's easier to see. So next slide. What we've done as Cardano4Climate is we've gone through all the different proposals, and we've set them up with the name, the challenge, the problem, and the solution. And hopefully in the slides, there will be a little bit more information if there's any other links. We're trying to figure out the best way to promote and get that information out in front of people into lists. Next slide. And this is our Honeybee presentation.
Here we go.
Well, if there were no bees, people would live for about 4 years.
That makes an impact. No bees, 4 years. Oh,
So there's a bit of a lag for some reason, and we've got the gray bar across the screen, but no big deal. This is what we're going to do to keep working on. Anybody that can reach out to us and help with the tech side, greatly appreciated. But again, the message is there. So
how do you play this back? Is it from Google Drive or how do you do it?
So this one is embedded in the slide because it was a link downloaded to my drive, uploaded to Google Drive, and then inserted as a video in the slide. This is a problem. The YouTube ones seem to work better, but again, we had problems with the first video. So it could be the uploading on the computer, I'm not sure.
The original one is on Vimeo, actually. So I don't know if that's a better solution.
But Vimeo, Google Slides doesn't recognize the link.
Ah, I see.
They don't cooperate. And this is the problem with climate change and with good presentations. Lack of cooperation. So I suppose there's a way to put it on YouTube, which may be against.
Maybe it's better to Google Drive than better than YouTube, because YouTube can give you commercial. That's definitely something you don't want.
But it's just the YouTube link itself, right? But I don't know.
Maybe. Well, I'm trying to avoid it.
Yeah, I think what we need to do, we need basically to play it before a couple of times, and then normally it's on the memory, the computer for next time.
Okay, so uploading on our computers, run through the, okay,
yeah.
Thank you. So, sorry, we have Q&A and feedback. Let's do this for the proposal itself. Maybe we go back to the slide with the information, please, Newman.
okay.
And if anybody has anything to say or suggest or to connect, feel free to jump in. Put up your hand if you want to.
Yeah, that's amazing. I have a small story. So the father of my wife actually used to have 4,000 bees, colony bees, basically in Argentina. And 20 years ago, more or less, they started to put the chemicals, right? And basically in few months, all of them disappeared. I mean, all of them died over a few months. 4,000 colonies, and yeah, it was very dramatic. So yeah, I love what you do. I would love to see how how your solution can be important for this challenge. Very interesting, very important subject.
Well, a friend of mine actually mentioned that. She says, Melanie, have you seen any honeybees lately? Because I'd seen a lot of bumblebees, like really big bumblebees and little bumblebees. And so it's like, you know what? I haven't actually seen them in my place. Has no chemicals on my property, 10 acres, and lots of wildflowers, lots of flowers. So there should be lots. And I have noticed a few. So for that, but it is of concern, and people maybe need to start looking for their honeybees and seeing if they're actually seeing it. Anything else you want to add, Margarita, that may be missing? What other information are we missing with this?
Basically, the only way to sustain honeybees is to come up with a way to create money and transfer this money to their beekeepers. So blockchain, since it's a new way for everyone, and beekeepers don't have the knowledge yet to use blockchain, we came up with this idea. We are not beekeepers, even though we've been criticized of not being beekeepers, but that's okay. Within our job, within our knowledge, we come in with this little knowledge that we have on blockchain, to use it and help the beekeepers. It's the least, I believe that it's the least that we can do. Each one of us is expert in their own field. So if we use our knowledge, we can help other people so that we can all live in this world. Because if this world dies, we die. And this is what we have to understand. Now it's the honeybees, it's something else. It's a chain reaction. This is nature. If we keep killing nature, we're not going to be alive at the end of the day. And people must understand that, even people in the community, Cardano community. And I'm saying this after the first trial, we spoke about Melanie in Fan 8. Reading the comments from the assessors, there were a few that, as if they were living in a different world, as if their world would be the one that would survive, but that's not the case. So we all have to pinch in anyway.
You know, you bring up a really good point though, because you're criticized for not being beekeepers. Beekeepers are criticized for not being technical. So what do we need? We need both. We need both the solutions, both the on the ground, feet, boots on the ground, real action. So this is absolutely amazing. And let's get those connections. You know, if you feel like you're being criticized for something that we have connections to beekeepers. We know one or two of them, don't we?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Right? And I didn't come up with the idea just out of the blue.
Right.
As you said, we have connections with beekeepers. I see my friends, I have a few friends who are beekeepers, and their life is so difficult. Every day from 4 a.m. in the morning, out in the fields, up on the mountains, I wouldn't even dare to go. And they're struggling. They're struggling. And besides that, we also have to think that we are stealing from the bees because we are stealing their food. Honey is their food. Pollen is their food. We are stealing the honey because we like it. We steal pollen because it's good for our health. It's the perfect medicine for our health. But what are we doing? We're killing them.
This is interesting too, and it's something that I brought up with Miro, because he showed us pictures of the beautiful honey that he's collected through Cardano blockchain, through the work that he's done. And I said, oh, that's beautiful, but he does have the percentages, 30% I believe for them and 70% for the bees. So this is where we collaborate, where we share, where we cooperate on limited resources. Margarita, we're going to move on to the next proposal. This is a hot topic, definitely, and we've got to make the space for stuff like this. Next slide, please, Newman. Actually, a couple slides forward. Thank you, Margarita. And hopefully we'll have some time to connect at the end in the breakout room for any more ideas and collaboration. Next proposal is impact NFT related again. Impact NFTs for the homeless. SOTB stands for Shelters on the Block. I found that out. And the information about it is on the next slide. And we have a video for that. So maybe we'll play the video first, and then we can leave the information up as we go into our Q&A.
Okay, here comes the video.
Thank you, Newman.
Hello everyone, we are Shelters on the Block, a social impact NFT project aimed at helping mitigate the homeless crisis happening in the city of Los Angeles. The problem we are facing is a humanitarian crisis. The city of Los Angeles has the highest homeless rate in the United States and has the second largest homeless population. The problem is multifaceted with many potential solutions. We have identified transitional housing programs as one potential solution to the homeless crisis. These programs help keep vulnerable people off the streets, and it gives them a secure and stable place to get back on their feet. We have partnered with Uncle Dave's Housing, a nonprofit organization that will be receiving the proceeds from the NFT sale. Additionally, we have identified the lack of human sympathy as one of the problems. To combat this, we will also be launching an educational campaign that educates the public about the struggles faced by those on the streets. We will be interviewing 16 individuals who have overcome homelessness at one point in their life and have them share their success stories. The NFT will be a representation of their life story. From the total collection of NFTs, we will raise enough money to provide housing to 16 men for a total of 5 months each. These impact NFTs will be NFTs that keep on giving back through the use of resale royalties for Uncle Dave's housing. Our NFTs will also be equipped with tax deductions, physical film pictures, and airdrops. Next, I will share a quick clip of an interview we have already conducted.
Uncle Dave's housing has given me stability of, having a roof over my head, being homeless. There was times where I didn't know where to sleep, I didn't feel comfortable sleeping on the sidewalk.
Thanks for listening, guys. Let us know what you guys think about our project on Idea Scale.
That's wonderful.
Fabulous. And then if we just go back, and then we'll just take a few minutes, maybe till about 10 to the hour. Yeah, 10 to the hour might work. We've got a lot of slides to go through. So Angel, I see that you're here. I hope you're still here. And anything else to add, or any other feedback?
I would like to add something. I mean, this subject is so important, and also the bees. All of them. But this one is amazing, and I think there is, again, presenting it as an opportunity for Cardano. We need to try and show. This is just my view, a cycle where more value creation can be done, right? So these people going out of the streets, going to homes, being recovered, and hopefully going into the workforce, coming being able to go back to responsible, more power to manage their life basically, and so they get the support now that they need in order to then kind of come better hopefully to the society. So there's a lot of programs that we can be somehow connected to show value creation more than NFT, and as well as with the bees. I think if you connect it to the supply chain of then to the food you eat, right? Some people will be ready to pay more to eat the honey that they know that actually been created well, without harming obviously the food of the bees as needed. I'm just saying that it's something that we maybe that can be a team to work on together. I think maybe as a community. So how you develop the cycles of value, because they are there, I think, and I'm trying to do the same thing with project in Ghana around agriculture. So how you create from the work you are doing and the information you are collecting is just the base to then create some value centers for that. Does that make sense? And then based on that, build business models that can actually keep on going.
Like Newman said in the chat, cycle of value.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And the
Absolutely.
blockchain is being used to create this transparency, traceability, truth, verification of the work you are doing, the amazing and important work you are doing.
Angel, did you want to add anything else that maybe doesn't get captured in this beautiful video, by the way?
Thank you. I just want to start off by thanking you for having me on here, and thank you for the Cardano4Climate community for listening in. I kind of just wanted to go off of what Yaron was saying, and then also really back to the Honeybees one. I think an important thing that I see a parallel between both our projects is that we're trying to kind of be the entity that brings that tech and that information to those industries that don't really have it, because that's what we're doing really. We're kind of in the same shoes where we ourselves aren't an organization that directly helps excuse me, that directly helps those experiencing homelessness. But what we're doing is we're partnering up with those organizations that directly do help with them. And we're introducing them to blockchain technology, which they're not very familiar with. They don't know how they can use it to their own benefit. And what we're trying to create is we're trying to show the rest of the world outside of the blockchain industry that are not involved, that like, for example, NFTs are more than just like a Bored Ape that's worth like thousands of dollars, but it can be something that can bring cause and can have meaning behind it. And that's what we're trying to create. We're trying to create communities, just as well as like the Honeybees projects is trying to create a community that cares about honeybees and cares about preserving our ecosystems. We're trying to create the same thing, where we want to create a community of people that care about those on the streets and want to cause some type of change. And we want to provide a way for everyone to see that through blockchain, because it's very transparent.
So that's you're creating these bridges from Cardano, from Project Catalyst, to projects that we wouldn't be connected with. You're the bridge to that particular one. Cardano4Climate is another bridge where we can come together, a community where we can connect those bridges. Really appreciate your work that you're doing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And in your case, just one thing, maybe you add also the element. I mean, if you see today how people supporting different organizations, right? Do they have the transparency and traceability of what's actually happening, right? And once, you know, the work you're doing and bringing it to the blockchain might create that, and would make more people want to support, because they know exactly what's the impact, where it's going.
And traceability to the funds too, because as we saw last week with CNGO, trust for people giving, for donating, is at an all-time low because of scams, because of lack of transparency. So, you know, having that idea of where those funds actually go, and through the blockchain, we can trace it. So this is another important element as well. Thank you. And look at that. We just came 10 to the hour, and next slide. So we have a sign up to present. As long as we have enough time like this, we're going to give this opportunity to our proposers to come get some feedback, make connections one-on-one. We will always have breakout rooms for that should we run out of space. And then the next list, Newman, you can go ahead and take care of this one.
Okay, there are a ton of places to practice and polish your proposal. You really are, I'm speaking to the proposers here and on YouTube, anyone that has a proposal. If you have an idea, it's important to be able to communicate it. And using all of these technologies, these groups, Swarm sort of being the very first one in our community to generate a thing called Ideafest. I don't know exactly when it started, but this time it's going to be on July 30th and 31st. And then a lot of other groups have followed suit with providing a space for proposers to pitch or to present their proposals and their projects. So
if you just go through the next, if you just go through the next slides,
okay.
We'll have information with each of them. So Ideafest happens July 30th and 31st. Yep. That video that you saw at the beginning, we were scrambling the weekend before Ideafest. It was so stressful. And then we dumped this all on Jem, who we didn't really know, and he ended up throwing back this beautiful, amazing proposal. I didn't realize how long it took to render videos. You know, and we gave him so much work. And that's why we're also working with the community to get this ahead. Don't wait till July 28th to be working on your Ideafest pitches. Take the opportunity to come. This is a safe ground. We'll ask, we'll try and give you some Q&A. Maybe we should get somebody from Ideafest, some of the hosts there, and start asking some of the questions that people will be given at Ideafest, so that we can make authentic, honest connections with the community. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, so there's Ideafest, Emurgo Academy.
So the registration for this closes today. And sorry, Newman, I said to pass it over to you, but Sebastian's added this to us. This is a new event for them for the Emurgo Academy community. We're trying to connect. It'll be a place to talk back and forth, to pitch your presentations. If you imagine people going into tech, a lot of them will have values. It's going to keep them slugging away at the hard work when you have a use, when you have a purpose. So this will give us a good opportunity to make more connections. So just remember that closes today. And the next opportunity is with Konma. And I had an amazing meeting with Vinay and George yesterday with Konma. The organization is much bigger than I ever thought. And I left that meeting with my shoulders feeling a little lighter, because this is a group that's doing it all and doing everything well. I don't know if anybody from Konma is here. If you are and you want to add any more, please put up your hand. But this happens July 23rd for the whole week, except Saturday and Sunday, where you'll be able to pitch your proposals to a group, a large group. There'll be voting, and then the whole Konma team will stand behind the pitches that move forward, and they will work on these pitches into Fund 10. So absolutely amazing, amazing work. Lido Nation, they have a Twitter space on Fridays, 2 p.m. UTC, I believe, and we'll drop the links in for that to connect with them. There'll be an opportunity also to share about, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to record again. They'll have an opportunity to, sorry, I'm struggling with tech. There's the links. They have an opportunity for you to share and pitch and talk and connect.
Here's the next one.
Yorm, can you speak to this one? Put him on the spot.
Yeah, this one I catch it, yeah, on this call basically. So it's also, I think, quite a relatively new initiative. They are doing 20-minute interviews with anyone interested to present a proposal in Fund 9. The links are, I'm not sure in this slide or before the slide, the initial slide that Newman showed, there is a link for that. Just reach out, register. I think it's a new great opportunity to get interviewed and be featured for Fund 9. But I don't know them much more than that, and any feedback from any of you or knowledge about them will be helpful. Just saw it, and so it's important to share it with you.
Awesome, thank you.
It's really great opportunity, this Cardano Catalyst TV. I tried it last fund. It's really great, and I did the interview for them this time too. It's not live, it's edited later, so don't worry about it. You can do a 20 minutes of interview, and then they will edit it into 6, 7, 8 minutes, and it works like a charm.
Perfect.
Really
Fantastic.
good.
I think we need these guys on board with us more. So any impact related proposals, tell them C4C sent you and we'll get a better connection. Thank you so much for that. And as you can see, next slide is our Impact Fest. We want to really get this right. We need your help on this, to do this, to present, you can see I'm 61 and I'm learning new things. There's people in here that are professional, experienced. It's fun to do the casual, goofy stuff, but this one we really hope to knock it out of the park. And so any extra help that you can give us, that's our Telegram chat for event planning. And that comes up August 11th. I think I gave enough pitches for that. Okay, so here we are at coming up to our slide deck of impact related proposals. Newman, let's just stop sharing for a second, and I'm just going to check with the rest of the group. We can also catch a screenshot of who's here for our bounty system. And please feel free to play with this. It may not make you a lot of gimbals, but it's an experiment that we're working on, and your experience with it would be greatly appreciated for feedback on that. So are you catching a screen share?
Yeah, if you want, you can come off. If you want your.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And if you
Can
want
you guys
to
come off your
if you like, to each his own, of course.
hiding?
Of course.
There we go.
We
I
will,
love
this is
seeing
like
faces.
our group photo. Yeah. Okay. All right. 1, 2.
Off. Yeah,
let's
we got you on recording. Hey Ryan, good to see you. Good to
Okay.
see your face.
Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Oh, wait a minute. Cancel. Oh, something's. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna work with my screen share going on. Oh.
And there's Tyler. It just gives us more chance for other people to come off screen. So there. Hello, Helen. Nice to see you. We've been chatting on the side, so it's so nice to see your face. Bruno, we know what you look like, but yeah, here we are.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we have this opportunity. We're at the top of the hour. We can go straight into breakout rooms for collaboration, or we can go through the proposal list as we have it. Totally gonna find out what the community wants here. What are you feeling?
I would love to hear. I'd love to start the discussion about the bees and the shelters on block. I think that the homeless situation is, I think, well put in that it is a multifaceted humanitarian crisis, and that in general is a lens that this is the social impact of this climate catastrophe that we're in. I think you can really look at it through the lens of homelessness, because we're all headed that way. You know what I'm saying? You think, oh, it's just somebody else's problem, but it's really everyone's problem. So I'd love to start that discussion, and so maybe some breakout rooms. So my vote's for breakout rooms.
I'm just setting up 3 breakout rooms, bees and shelters. I'll just do a general one for, if you see somebody, go ahead.
Yeah. No, before we break out, I just want to say, related to the presentation, because we're not going to do so that. If there is any more impact-related proposal, or people or so on, please add them. I mean, already, I think we can go over 200 and probably much higher than that. And it's important to show to Cardano, what's the community that is here. And that we are, why we are here, and, we have an opportunity still to impact this blockchain, to be really the blockchain, that is making this impact and being the blockchain that is used for creating a better society. And so just to mention that, add other proposals if add yours, obviously. Check your slides. All of that, very important.
So I just need to step away for about 2 minutes. I've opened up the breakout rooms, bees and shelters in the first one, 2 spare rooms, and in the main room, we'll go through the slide deck unless we have anything else that you want to do.
All right, so just in terms of logistics, I will keep the recording going so that we can go through the slide deck. If someone would record the, or depending on the group.
You'll go to the breakout room with the bees and shelter, and then you can record there, and I'll record the rest, the slide deck on this computer, if that's okay.
Okay, that sounds great.
Okay.
That sounds great.
We'll work through that one. Okay, so just a couple minutes. I just have to check my robins because I hear some fluttering and I have magpies, so I want to make sure everybody's
Make sure
okay.
those robins are safe. Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right, then what we'll do is I'll join that bees and shelters, and I think that will close the recording here, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. I believe this will be a new recording, and we can decide if we want to post it on our YouTube channel. If you're joining us and you're reading this, or if you're listening to this and watching us on video, welcome. You found the place. I'm joined here with two Fund 9 Project Catalyst proposers. One, Shelters on the Block with Angel Dominguez, and also from Bees on Blockchain, that would be Margarita Mausa. Thank you and welcome. Would you like to just give a brief introduction, because this will be a new recording to your projects, just in a minute or so, and then we can start a discussion.
Sure, I'll go ahead. Thanks everyone for tuning in. My name is Angel, and I'm one of the co-founders of Shelters on the Block. We're trying to create impact NFTs that directly help the homeless here in the city of Los Angeles, and we're trying to create this in a transparent and audible fashion, but also share those stories with the rest of the world.
Excellent. And Margarita, there you go.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm here. I'm Margarita. I represent the Honeybees. I wrote the proposal. I'm not a beekeeper, but I'm here to support beekeepers and the bees particularly.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to start the conversation where we sort of finished in the main room, which was somehow we got to where there was a real interrelated idea between these two projects. Do you remember how that came about? I guess the synergy between them. I guess sort of speaking for the invisible value chain that creates homelessness, and then also creates ecosystem collapse for bees. Is that how you saw it? Angel, I think you were participating in that part of the discussion?
What I saw was the parallel on how the Honeybees project and our project are both entities that are kind of helping other entities enter into the blockchain space, because the people in those spaces are not yet familiar with the technology and the opportunities that can be offered through blockchain.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, we saw, and I'm sure you can agree with me, Andrew, we saw a problem that humanity is facing, regardless if it's environmental or social. So we saw this problem, and we tried to find a way to solve this problem, and blockchain was a solution. We cannot actually transfer these problems on blockchain. They're not technical problems, but we can use technology to solve many of these problems around us that they cannot actually touch technology. This is how I saw it, and I wrote their proposal.
That's right. Yeah. I think that was the overlap, is that there was a sort of a non-technical, and I don't know if I read. I mean, beekeepers, that are on blockchain, that may, you kind of think of farmers as non-technical, but they may be, and then also with homeless folks, that they may be technical, but I do know, for instance, that beekeepers are not focused on technology, and that homeless folks, if you're don't feel comfortable where you can sleep tonight, you're probably not going to spend very much time figuring out how to make a wallet.
Exactly.
It really is and I think Margarita, you made the point, and it kind of stuck with me a little bit. It was like the solution is money to beekeepers, and I think, you know what, that is a part. That is a big and major part of the solution. And I can also imagine that that funding and money to the name of the Uncle
Dave's housing.
Uncle Dave's housing. Like, this is an important part. If we want to work in our system, money is in that system. So fundraising, the fundraising part is really important. Now, there's two things, and I'm going to drive the conversation just a little bit. There are two things. Margarita, your project focuses on the marketplace. So I want to talk about that. And Angel, your project, from what I heard, focuses on the royalties. So and I'll give you a moment to sort of collect a thought on those, or how to sort of explain that to me with the NFT. So why an NFT marketplace, and then why royalties, or just some on that? And I'll let whoever wants to go first go.
Well, basically, what we wanted to do is skip the digitalized NFTs or art. Most of the NFTs that we see that they're sold, they're digital. Either like Minecraft NFTs or caricatures, or which we thought that we should do something different. So we thought of using the actual art. I'm sorry, I'm moving because my battery is going to die.
Oh no, it's a race. So the physical thing, yeah, as opposed to a digital.
Right. So that was the first part. And one of our team members, she's very good with art. It was her second major. She studied environmental research, but she's excellent in art. She had this idea: I will draw paintings, she said, paintings for the bees. Just to have the difference, sell NFTs of paintings, actual art, not digitalized, computerized art, to give value to this art, so that we can also sell in high prices. So this art will belong to the person that will buy the NFT. So you buy the NFT, but you also buy the painting, the one and only unique painting. So this is how we are going to raise money for the beekeepers. And the person that buys that painting that corresponds to a beehive will be receiving information, if they want to, about the beehive that they adopted. So the beehive might be, let's say, in Cyprus or in Italy or Greece or wherever, on that mountain, in that field, the amount of honey that the beehive made this year will be so and so. If we can send a sample, if the beekeeper can send a small sample to the person, that would be great.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that, keep the buyer in contact with the asset, Yeah.
That tells me like supply chain management and things. That's this value chain, and that it can sort of spin off, because there is a real royalty, the royal jelly from the bee that comes around. Okay, so that's a great stuff. And just let's hear from Angel, and then we'll open it up to other bigger questions. I hope that's okay with the group.
That's fine. Yeah.
I find it quite incredible how similar like the ideas are that we both have. So our idea is we're gonna start off by taking a picture of a success story, right? And what are NFTs, what we want them to represent is they're gonna be a picture of someone who's experienced homelessness, and then it's gonna be a picture of someone who's gonna be receiving the housing. So we're gonna start off by taking a picture of someone who's experienced homelessness. The person we interviewed was one of the managers at Uncle Dave's housing. And we kind of want the NFT to encapsulate like their story, and so the picture itself will just be a picture, but we'll be dropping interviews and like updates, right? And it's sort of similar like how Margarita was talking about, how later on like there'll be updates. So the initial, like you can call him like the sponsor of the initial picture we take, that'll be correlated to someone else later on who will receive 5 months worth of housing. And when we find that individual that will get the housing, we will airdrop a new NFT with a new picture of that individual to the holder of the sponsored NFT. And so in that way, the NFT holder can actually see where their money is going and see the impact that it's having. Because one of my visions when I created this project was that when you donate to big like non-profit charities, you know that the money's going somewhere. Like, you know, you talk about like Make-A-Wish, you donate to Make-A-Wish, you know that it's gonna help a kid out there have their wish come true, but you don't actually see what kid and what wish was made. And so what we're trying to do is you're donating to a project that you know is helping the homeless, but you're actually able to see those results, and you get to see where your money went to, who it's affecting, and how it's changing. Because like I said, the airdrops will be updates, and we'll create new interviews of those people living in Uncle Dave's housing.
That's really phenomenal. And you're right, there is, the whole NFT space is so brand new. Like, you two are pioneers in this sort of brand new field. You know, I love that it's impact related, and I do feel like it will make a difference. I think that just tying the consumer or the funder, the philanthropist or the supporter to the outcome of that support is phenomenal. I think it really could be a game changer. Does anyone have questions? Do we have questions from the group? You know, from Bruno or Helen or Ryan or Slava? Or if Margarita or Angel, if you've got questions for me or for the group. Or Tom, got stuff? Tom looks like he's got something else going on.
Yeah, I had a question on for Margarita. I'm a farmer and I raise some bees. I had a couple hives. I'm down to one. There's apparently a extremely large die off or kill off of the bees, and I'm all for any proposal, any solution that helps the bees. So I was in and out of listening to you because of, I'm trying to dual purpose. But how does your proposal directly help the honeybees and stop whatever is going on with the die-off, whether it's climate related, pesticide related, plastic related, microplastic related, as has been suggested? So that would be my question for you, Margarita.
Okay. It's for now, it's almost impossible to stop it, but we can, I don't know, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got you.
Okay, all right. Even though it's difficult, almost impossible to stop this killing of the bees, we can help increase the numbers, that sustain the numbers. So we know that each season the beekeepers have to fill their hives or add new hives. So the money that we are going to get from the NFTs that will be sold will go to the bees that they will buy. They buy the queens. The queen's cost, the minimum cost of the queen, the cheapest one that you can get here in Cyprus is 60 euro. But that's not definite. You may get it 120. So by giving the funds to the beekeepers to buy the queens, it's the first start for a hive. So once you have the queen, then you will get the bees, because the queens will start giving birth to the bees.
Right. So what you're doing is you're funding for replacement of the queens and the nucs.
Exactly.
Now,
that's why
are
it's
you
sustainability.
right? Are you looking at buying the Italian bees, the Russian bees, or some other type of bee? Which
Okay.
is more
It depends on the
sustainable?
country. It's not advisable to mix the breeds, because each kind of bee, they survive in their own environment. So if I bring a bee, let's say from Russia, that lives in different temperatures, it won't survive here in the above 40 degrees. So we've been advised, and what I'm learning also from the beekeepers, that the Minister of Agriculture is advising that you stick to the local breed. So this is how we will work on it. So but it's up to the beekeeper. If they want to buy a different breed, it's not up to us.
Right. So probably the Italian breed is more viable in your area. Would and just spitballing here and kind of thinking out of the box, for sustainability, would it not perhaps be better to support a bee breeding facility, or help one of the universities that are studying why the bees are dying off? For instance, I know in the United States, in New York, Cornell University, which is a land university, has started a big program because of the seriousness of the bee die-off. So maybe if you touch base with something like Cornell, and I don't know what's going on in Europe or Africa with the study of bees and die-off, but for sustainability, yes, it's good to fund the farmers, the beekeepers. Yes, it's good to buy the queens, but my approach has always been to look at the root cause as you develop your program and your platform. Just spitballing there, and I think what you're doing is great.
I appreciate the idea that you gave, the bee breeding. I will definitely pass it on to the beekeepers, and whoever is interested, I will be mostly happy to come back to the community with another proposal. Yeah, I mean, it's still sustainability.
Yeah, this is an interesting.
Perhaps we can save the breed of each country. Either it's Italian or Cyprus or Greece or Germany or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I grow fruit. I grow cherries and apples and grapes, mostly grapes. And I've noticed, and we keep hives just for the pollination. And I've noticed the die-off in the hives in our vineyard, especially these last 2 winters, whether it's mites or whatever, extremely high. But I've noticed that bumblebees, and this is, I think, nature balancing itself, bumblebees have stepped up. We see more bumblebees. I don't see, and even on my cannabis plants, Norman, I don't see the honeybees. I see some butterflies and moths and more bumblebees. But My take has always been without honeybees, you're not getting pollination, you're not getting fruit, and the human population will eventually suffer the consequences if something's not done. And I think it's more of an important issue than carbon. Carbon is a longer term, and the crisis with the bees and pollination is now. Just my thoughts.
For sure. Thank you, Tom. The video, it definitely does. I think one of the issues with carbon is it's just such a long thing, and so not just multifaceted, but just connected to so many big giant things. Same with the bees, but like without bees, we're very short and one growing season, and then we've got a real collapse. Angel, I want to bring it to you, and then just for my idea, I want to keep this part of the discussion relatively short and end in the next 7 minutes. The bottom of the hour seems like a good time. So we've had about 30 minutes to talk, because I think that short and concise is. But I'd like to engage you a little bit more. Do you have anything that you feel like you want to bring up to the group? Before I ask any kind of a question.
Oh, I forgot to mention the royalties that you actually were asking about at the beginning. Like I didn't touch upon those actually. So what the idea of the royalties is that we didn't want to create a project, an NFT project, where people were trying to buy them, flip them, and make profits off of them. I didn't feel comfortable with that. So what we're gonna do is we're planning to implement resale royalties. So each time the NFT is resold, up to 20% of those of the sale value will go back to Uncle Dave's housing. So it'll be like an NFT that keeps on giving for perpetuity as long as it's being resold.
So let's dig into that. Do we have any NFT royalty folk in the group? Because I think that's one of the real game changer killer application part. It could be the email of NFTs, meaning that if you own an NFT and then as it circulates through an economy, that each person in the chain gets rewarded in some small way, and then we all feel like we have ownership of that. I can see in your project, I can see that this idea of a veteran or a success story and a receiver or someone there in Uncle Dave's housing, like I see that connection as as an intriguing part of the project. Can you tell me more about that? Was that or when did that come around in the sort of ideation of the project? Because it seems very unique.
Well, when I first started coming up with this idea, I was talking to some friends, and they had some good critiques, and they're talking about that some people might at first, when I introduced the idea, they might be wary of it because it's like, oh, you're trying to sell homeless, you're trying to sell the idea of homeless people. And so I wanted to ensure that the very core importance of it was giving back, and that people understand that this is not an investment, but more of a donation. And so that was just something that I noticed that when some artists, they would put royalties on their work, but the royalties would come back to them as an artist and they would benefit. So I kind of wanted to think of a way of, once those NFTs were sold, in what way can we continue giving back to the people that need it? And so the NFT holder, they'll still have full ownership of the NFT, it'll still be theirs. It's just kind of it's kind of like a tax that 20% of the sale is going to go back to the organization that needs it. And then again, that money that we make, we've made it a partnership agreement with Uncle Dave's Housing that any money they receive through our fundraising, it'll be used to give back to people, because their organization, their transitional housing, which is affordable living, so the individuals there still have to pay rent, but what we're ensuring is that any money that, say we fundraise $10,000, those $10,000, it has to go to pay for somebody's rent. So then that person gets free rent and they could live there for free. And essentially that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to allow people to have an option and not just go just because they can't afford a safe space. Because a lot of individuals who are in danger of being homeless, they don't like going to a shelter is not like their top choice, because it can be dangerous. Sometimes they say it's unsanitary, but like transitional housing, it's like a perfect in between where it's affordable, but it's also safe, and it creates a more home feeling. Because at a shelter, you're only there, there's a certain checkout time, and then you have to check in at a certain time. So you never feel like it's your home, or like it's a place of your own.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I don't know. And one of the beautiful things about these projects, all of the Project Catalyst proposals, is that they draw attention and become a focal point for the issue. And I would hope that you can connect with other folks who have focus on this, on the homelessness issue, and that you connect and collaborate, and that if you're not funded in this round, that you will come back and build on those connections and collaborations further in Project Catalyst. Likewise, to you, Margarita, the creating your proposal has added to the community of beekeepers or people that are focused on bees. You know, we're all in this together, and that we all succeed and fail to a certain degree together. And I really want to appreciate and take just these last little bits of time that we have together to sort of just express some appreciation and some thanks and gratitude. Yeah, I open it up to the floor.
Yeah, I think the shelter concept and the NFTs is pretty cool. And just looking, I'm doing some background checking. SOS housing, is that part of Uncle Dave's project?
That's like a side business that she's doing. Because her name is Felicia. She's kind of the person who started Uncle Dave's housing. What she's trying to do with SOS housing is she's trying to kind of create more transitional homes available in LA. Like I said, a big issue with homelessness is that housing is becoming really unaffordable for a lot of people. So like group homes or transitional homes, it allows people to pay for affordable rent and not have to end up on the street. So that's just like a side business of hers. But her actual the Uncle Dave's housing, I've done my research on it too. They're a 501c, so they're actually like a nonprofit and everything. And then SOS housing, that's something else that she's working on too.
Okay, I mean that's cool. I see it. I go down to Florida to Fort Lauderdale, and I see a lot of housing, homeless down there. And my son lives in Woodland Hills, so I've spent time out there, and I've seen, you know, the homeless and the vets and stuff like that. So I think it's an awesome humanity project, and it's nice for you to, you know, I keep saying the most valuable thing we have in the world, the one thing we cannot make more of, Angel, is time, and you're spending your time on a worthy project. So kudos to you, applaud, and keep on keeping on. Whether you get funded this time or not, come back with a stronger proposal, as Newman said, and build your community support. But kudos to you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to close it down now. Please be in contact. You know, we do have meetings each week, several meetings, and we're on the Telegram. Please look at more of those proposal showcases. And we'll see you. We'll see you in the next time. Margarita, do you want to? I'll give you the last word if you don't mind.
I just wanted to thank everyone for their support, whether we proposal gets approved or not. Just try to support the bees, either within a Cardano community or any other way. It's for the benefit of all of us.
Yeah.
Thank you for the time.
Okay. Bye, y'all. Thank you.